Alright, bro. What the hell going on? What's up,
What's going on with the wrong one?
Say it again. So currently, right now, I'm over here getting my ass whooped by these fucking whatever the fuck this shit is over here. These damn goblins.
We need to go ahead and just slap this dragon, nigga. We need to make some arrows and fight this nigga.
I know, bruh. What the fuck? Did someone already shoot? Yeah. Need to make the fuck out of this goddamn these arrows.
Oh, there's some duck on the tree right there for you.
Hey, it's also a fucking death mosquito, bitch. Oh yeah, I need that. I can do without that for a little while. Alright, well, I'm finna go back to the crib.
Sure.
There's only needles in that chest over there. You know what?
Damn, they got me. They got me.
Yo, I did. Oh, I'm over here bullshitting. Go back to rescream. Oops. Damn, where that shit at? What he got me playing? Okay, bet. We got our image. Oh, I'm still over here. Oh shit. Oops. Valim. Probably go. Should I for real? Hell nah. They'll be alright. They ain't worried about me. Oh, my damn ear. So did you die over here?
No.
Walk right through that portal trying to see what's up. Did a little bit with talking while she trying to fuck.
Yeah, this place isn't very big. It is right between the forests.
Yeah. You already...
So yeah, we gotta find a bigger one.
Alright, bet. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, there we go, though. Okay, I found a camp.
What the fuck is a camp?
Like how you saw them little green little shits? Oh, and I just found a tar pit. Ew, what the fuck? What is this?
Wait. So...
Oh, the shoot shit. Whoa. Okay.
Them pussy ass niggas have camps?
Oh, the shooting. No, don't. Oh, God. I'm tripping. I'm dead. I'm tripping. I'm dead.
I'm not gonna lie to her. I can't do shit for you.
Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah. Oh shit, that shit strong as fuck. I'm talking they just skeeted on me, bro. Like you don't even want to see what you should go let him do it to you. Go fuck around.
Fuck no, I'm not gonna go fuck around find him. What the fuck? I don't want to fat for today. What?
What the hell? what that shit was, bro. It was like you know the Uzis, how they were green?
Mm-hmm.
They were black, but they were shooting like machine gun though. Like they were.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Nigga, so there's machine guns in this bitch?
Nah, he was like shooting the shit out at machine gun speed, like.
I don't think that's fair. I don't know if that's fair at all, bro. That's crazy as fuck. That's wild. We need to make a potion chest. But really, fuck all this, my nigga. We need to make some goddamn. We need to make. We need to get some more wood.
I see a whole like camp, and I see a whole tar pit. So there's a tar pit. What I ran into, I just got machine gunned by black ooze, and next to it is like a whole village of those green fuckers with like more variants of enemies.
So I'm not going over there. The fuck. Shit. How bad is it? Is it like a lot of them? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a village.
Oh shit.
The little shit we saw there was like a little fucking whatever little they were just randomly spawned.
Yeah.
That's actually like a village.
Alright, that makes sense. Hey, did we ever have a spawner close to the house?
What you mean?
There's one like right across the tree line actually. I don't remember that bitch being that close.
You know, that's probably all it's going right there.
I'm finna go back to the main house and just start cutting shit. I'm finna fix this. Bitch.
Put the iron in the chest.
Alright. Master builders. Oh yeah, that's way better. I should've just did it like this. What the hell did you do? Alright. Because these niggas. Alright, bet. I know I heard somebody bitch ass. Come here. Fucking bird. Fucking deer. Alright, bet. Sit your ass down. Alright. So, do you want to stay in that little plane then?
So what?
Said, do you want to stay over there in that little plane?
Until we goddamn could at least go over there and not get bitched around, yeah.
Cause I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. Nigga said he machine gun your ass.
Yeah, then go find out, nigga.
He must think I'm crazy. I'm getting hella wood right now, so I'm just about to bring all this shit back. Baby girl. I can't even tell niggas how cold it is down here for real. You wouldn't understand. Oh shit, I'm tripping. Extremely tripping. What the hell her ass doing? It's this one girl in my neighborhood who got this loud ass fucking Nissan Sentra. And her dumb ass need to goddamn, she need to come forward with me, bro. Cause she really fine, but you know how old it is. A bitch will see you outside working on your car and be driving around with some bullshit. I'll just be like, okay, cool. The fuck? Music don't change on me like that. Have me thinking it's a boss in there, bitch.
Yeah, it's night, nigga. We can really go sleep.
It sound like you be in a hole.
I'm just trying to hurry up so these fucking turnips can grow.
Oh yeah. I got you. I'm finna come back in a second.
Now to make us a lot more food, I feel like.
But you said what?
So once we get the turnips, I can make us a lot more food, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, we gonna be good soon. I'll tell you that. How much would I got? I'm full. What else can I drop? You know, pussy ass nigga, I see you. What you thought it was? Look up. Psych. Thought you was finna goddamn poison me. Yep, but I got me some bathing apes. Soldier Boy off in it. Oh, bitch! Watch me crank it. Watch me roll. Yo, why is it so fucking dark in the crib, bro? What happened to the torches? Am I tweaking?
You gotta keep the wood on them hoes. That shit crazy.
That shit actually wild. Oh wow. When you wake, you find your face with damp tears. Damp with tears. Fuck nigga. I muted this shit. Oh, it's resin. Okay, cool. That makes it a little bit easier. Damn. So that means all these bitches went out. Fuck. You finna put the boat down?
What you talking about?
I thought you came over here to put a boat down. I don't know what I'm talking about. Shit. Did you ever go get the other boat?
Shit, what?
Did you ever go get the boat from the swamp?
Hell no.
Okay, cool. I can make that a little mission right quick.
I was going with it for a second. I don't know where the hell I did.
I feel that.
That's over here falling asleep and shit.
You got to smoke?
Yeah, I was falling asleep.
Oh,
Get some pain. Might get a boost. Might not.
I made that little food. I'm good. I just don't got no weed right now. No cap.
You don't got no what?
I don't got no gas.
Less pain.
I know, bro. I'm the main nigga. Hold up. Where the hell is this boat at?
I'm gonna roll you up a road for it.
Nigga, I already rode that bitch. That's why I'm sad. I lucky rode that bit before I went to sleep. And then I probably sleep for like 5 seconds and you called me. This nigga gotta be at Bone Mass then. Shaniqua. Oh yeah, this shit definitely at Bone Mass. Can I like put this shit in my inventory? Oh, I can. Oh, I can't. What? Yeah, just keep going that way. Just keep going that way. Okay, cool. Are you dead ass? I need a fucking workbench for this. It's annoying as D fuck. Alright, bet. Oh my god, that's actually annoying.
Ugh.
Nigga, the fucking... Oh, that's annoying too. My axe finna break. The workbench over here broke. So, I was finna goddamn fuck around and make one. But, nigga, my axe finna break. This shit literally like 2 seconds away from breaking. Come here. I need this. Oh, the one time I don't have my shit. Well, let's go back to the crib. Zipper shit. Zipper shit. This nigga finna leave me with these gremlins. These beasts. These beasts of the field. Oh, matter of fact, I'm blushing. Let me go ahead and get this right quick. Yeah. Bullshit again. Oh wow. Leche. I just gotta make sure there's no goddamn no fucking abominations over here. Oh my god. Dude, she might gotta come over here too. I can't break this boat. But what the hell is y'all doing? I'm gonna just have to break the boat. Here we go. Bitch. Bitch. Now, if I die from fucking poison, I'm gonna be mad as hell. Take these damn carrots. And then lastly, do you wanna build the boat from the house, or do you wanna go to like the plains or some shit like that? I mean, yeah. Cause honestly, I'll build that bitch right here. Yeah, you understand me? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm tweaking. Damn, I'm gonna need him to come back ASAP. No. Did someone get it? I hope someone got it. Fuck. Oh, come on, man. Come on. What's up with these big bitches over here, bro? This little nigga need to keep his ass over there. Nigga, is that a Wraith? Oh, come on, bro. Niggas is hoes. Can I hit this nigga through the wall? Get your bitch ass on. Ouch. Alright, well, I'm out of here. Oh, God. I really want to go find that goddamn dungeon. Look. Alright, your bitch ass is annoying. I slick when I find them caves. But I also slick when I go over here right quick. Oh, hell nah. Get your bitch ass on. Nigga, hit him! Hit him! Please! This fuck nigga. Bitch. Nigga, it's the fact that they're working together. Oh my god. Sit the fuck down. Oh my god. That shit not fair, bro. These niggas here. Sheesh. Let me go eat some food before I go back in there and get my ass whooped. Oh, these bitch ass niggas. Alright, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this back. You ain't finna kill me. Bitch, sit your ass down. Alright. Come here. Sit the fuck down. It's all capital. go ahead and build a little wall. Fuck all that. Yeah. Nah, fucking with these niggas. There's not even a way this nigga aggroed on me, bro. Should I just say fuck it? Fuck it. Come here. Where you going? Oh! What the hell is this? Yeah. Hell nah. What? Dude, she ain't say nothing about this motherfucking... This goddamn little drop right here. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, see this bitch ass nigga just gonna spawn. Of course he is. Nigga, how? Where y'all at? Come on. Just come on and fight. Just come on and... Oh! Bitch! Get that nigga, please. Nigga, hit this nigga, please. Oh my god. Oh. Or he wouldn't move. My nigga wouldn't move. That's crazy, bro. This is some bullshit. Fuck no. Get your bitch up. Nigga, pull up the fucking... Oh my god. This pussy that nigga gonna kill me over some bullshit. Come here. Sheesh. Niggas don't know. This shit gets treacherous. knock all this out. You gotta make sure don't nothing sneak up behind me. Like a fucking death ski though. Wait, nigga, when I say them niggas suck. Alright, let me just test this shit out right quick. Enemy, where might you be? Is it really that dark? Holy shit. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's tough. Oh, hell no. Oh, fuck! No! Nigga, the Wraiths suck. No, please. Please, gang. Please. Nigga, kill the Wraith. This nigga just... Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Fuck this. Oh! Nigga, that don't make no sense. Come on, gang. Of course. Nigga, don't give a fuck about the food. Deuce, come back, please. Nigga, that's annoying. Nigga, the Wraith don't even fucking count with this shit. At least he don't break the portal. You know what I'm saying? That is pretty good. Cause otherwise, fuck this nigga. Bitch ass nigga. We're about to go beat his ass. You fucking Wraith. Sit the fuck down. Can I make a trap door? Oh, you know what I should do? Hold up, let's do it like this. What the fuck just fell in the water? I know I heard you, little pussy. Where you at? Be honest, I don't even want to find this nigga. To be honest, I should go my ass to sleep. Oh, I can't. Oh, there they go. Fuck y'all. Hell no. Keep y'all down there. Nope. I don't know what you thought it was. Hey, matter of fact, while I'm at it. Oh. Yeah, so I'm about to take my ass home. Let's make a door. Why I gotta be so lame? Nigga just gonna break my door? Let me do this right quick. Nigga, get your bitch ass on. The crazy part is I can't even see these niggas. That's nigga like that gotta be the most annoying shit. Oh, pussy. I might gotta murk these niggas for real, bro. nigga up. Literally, just die, just die, just die. Is my young nigga back? Damn it. All right. Damn it. Alright, let's put all this shit back in here. Go to the crib. Damn. I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to turn that portal around. What the fuck? This shit said planes. Are you dead ass? This shit I just threw out that I needed. Make it. Rick, you still up? Oh shit. My nigga done fell asleep on the server. Damn, that's actually kind of tough. definitely should have left. Oh yeah, that's extremely tough. Don't let nothing come in this motherfucker. Nigga just part that's fucked up. Damn. Nigga, I know you still up. Dude. Yeah. This nigga really fell asleep. Oh shit. Womp, womp, nigga. I really don't want to lose no progress on this motherfucker. I'm kind of scared if I leave. This nigga's just dead. I'm like, that's gonna be sad as fuck. Finally. With this NOK shit, go berserk. About to put these bear claws in here right quick. Fuck this heavy ass egg. If anything, we gonna need a food chest. Alright, cool. Yeah, fuck a raid. No cap. Fuck a raid. Alright, let's head to the plains. Might as well bring some more wood with me. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Where can that bitch get to it? See me, I don't get a move. Once it gets really cool. Let's say, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Damn. I'm finna say, we ain't got no more cordwood? I know we do. Ow. Damn, my twin really fell asleep. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. I gotta how I get to it. Yeah, send me out or get the moving. I need to make sure this shit not going through the floor. Regardless though. Anything helps. LA be for real. Who is this? I got that kill. Hold up. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I feel about this. Where my stairs? Where my stairs? Should I just make these? You know what I could do? Why? Going back into the crib, pulling everything I did without no lip. Get back to that bitch. Down Damn, I'm mad. Twin actually fell asleep. Oh, did I hit it? Oh, no, I didn't. I was about to say, damn, that athletic ass shot. I think I might just go regular wall. Nigga, what? Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get up out the plane because not trying to go through this. Okay, this will be an ass time for this shit not to work. I ain't finna get caught here. Y'all got me fucked up. I guess the only thing I'm worried about is goddamn ogres. Literally. I know I can fight them and shit now, but like, that don't mean I want to. You get kicked for auto? Let's see if I can call time back. Nigga said. Damn, this nigga not gonna wake up. I wish I could kick him from the server. That would be dope. Player list. Yeah. Alright, I think in the meantime, I'm gonna just go to these bone mass swamps. The swampidins. Oh yeah, let me do this real quick. I heard that. Alright, fuck that nigga. It's really his ass. Really just trying to see if the nigga was sniping. Bitch ass nigga. Hold up. Nigga just come over here just to be seen. Like, get your bitch ass on. Nigga, die. He killed himself. Better for me. Bro, like just barely under him is annoying. Come on, bro. It's like this shit just wants to barely miss at all times. Can I shoot a fish? Alright. I might hop on art. I don't know. Shit had me fucked up for a second. Finna stab him up. Get your bitch ass on. Bro, stab the nigga, please. What the fuck is we doing? shoot your bitch ass. Stoner. He needs some more of those. Let's see what's gonna happen when I start cutting down trees. You gonna get another ogre? Fuck. Bro, please stab the nigga. Oh my gosh. See, that's annoying as fuck. Come here. You dying. My nigga. Please. Like, that little stamina shit's the most annoying shit in the world. Oh, I knew I would see one. What going on, pussy? I know you felt that. What the fuck was that? Sit your bitch ass down. Sit your bitch ass down. That missed. Troll bitch. Oh, nigga. Nigga said, alright, let me regain some stamina. Pussy boy gonna try to throw stuff at me. Nigga, stop missing. Oh my god. Sit the fuck down. Nigga, what? Sit your punk ass down. Oh, wow. Ew, hairy booty ass. Hairy dookie face, booty, head. Fuck that dude. Give me this fur. I need it. Alright, out of stamina again. Damn. And this time I don't even got no goddamn food. See, I just gotta make sure no more trolls pop up behind me. Like, glad I caught that nigga face, you know what I'm saying, facing me. this to the crib. It's lucky even worse now, cause like this nigga just literally AFK. Where the fuck are the rest of the feathers at? I'm about to rearrange all this shit. Stone Golem trophies. You bitch ass niggas. Random ass trophy, bro. Probably because I'm carrying the whole city on my back right now. And no one told you to do it. Nigga, duh. Hold up. I'm about to put rocks all in one. Yo, put this in here. I'm finna fuck around and have a whole armor room at this point, gang. Cause this shit crazy. Fuck around, put those in here. Crystal battle axe, god damn. That's a damn trophy. You does. These damn raves. What the hell is so heavy in my goddamn pocket right now? Holy shit. Let me just get some of my goddamn movement. Matter of fact, let me just go straight to this shit. I'm finna start putting all these trophies out fucking side. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. Yo mama and your cousin too. Rolling out the script on foes. I'm coming up, slamming Cadillac doors. What they say? Got stopped in the mall the other day. Heard a call from the other way from a nigga who was saying something. He was like, "You better be from school." No, not really, but it's especially silly. And then he kept asking me what kind of car you drive. I know y'all paid. I know y'all got buku in the whole thing. Like, some other y'all have made. But I said, I've been going through the same thing that he has. True, I got more fans than the average man, but not enough people to last me. Alright, but all that shit in there. Give me all this. Where'd you put that resin at? Chronic servitude. Actually, we go like this real quick. Like 2 more motherfucking chests out here. Because why the fuck not? What? Yeah. Get all that shit out my chest. Literally. Definitely my hole. Yeah, I knew that was a trophy. Cause don't know how to weed them out. Alright. Ouch. My damn ear. And that should be it for those. I'm gonna throw these in here. Yeah, definitely gonna need to make another one. Is the chest really furniture? Like, look be for real. Ah, shit. Yeah, let's do this. Weapons. And tools. Yeah. I'm literally just organizing right now. And that should be it. so that's dedicated for rocks. Probably gonna turn some music on. Just like, oh well, actually.
Embodiment of the end of the snake year, which is the personification of a reset, because 2026 is a one. Transmission. If you're new to this channel, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. So tonight's transmission, I'm going to be demonstrating the embodiment of the end of the snake year, which is the personification of a reset, because 2026 is a 1 year, which also represents recalibration. It is the recalibration process that is acclimated to the geopolitical apparatus that corresponds with the celestial bodies, that harmonizes with human consciousness. So you already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Put those rice bowls in the chat. We finna cook up the esoteric knowledge, because we finna make a lot of things make sense tonight. There's a lot of stuff happening when you're talking about these neutrinos that's hitting the planet, that are starting to activate the chosen ones, right? Because when it comes to the chosen ones, you gotta be the personification of the light. Because one thing you gotta understand about a lighthouse doesn't chase ships. It's the ships that finds the light, finds the lighthouse. So that means that you got to be the embodiment of the light. You got to lead the darkness, the ones that's in darkness, out of the tunnel. You got to lead them to the light. And we're in that time period, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said, put those rice bowls in the chat. We finna get straight to it. We finna make everything make sense tonight. So let me get my itinerary going for you guys. All right. So I got a whole transmission for y'all. All right, let's go.
Drake.
So now, like I said, we're in a snake year. So you're looking at the shedding of a fraudulent system. You're looking at the shedding of everything that was connected to the Roman occupational government, which is also the representation of the European Union. So the European Union has to fall. So now, 2025 of January 29th, that was the beginning of the snake year, and it ends on February 16, 2026, the day before the Lunar New Year. So, as I was telling you guys before,
just a little disclaimer: if anybody do come in here watching this, I'm over here goddamn just in the background playing while I'm just, you know what I'm saying, vibing. But I'm always learning the shit. Always learning.
2026 is the personification of the Great Purification period, right before you have the Great Separation. 2027 is a very much, it's a prominent year. because 2027 is where you're going to have a separation from people going to, you know, deviate from religion. They're going to deviate from politics, because this is why you got so many things that's coming out with the Epstein files. All this stuff that's taking place on the planet right now was not a coincidence. So the snake year was a representation of the Kundalini activation, to where human consciousness has the ability to manipulate physical matter. So now we're in the time of the great purification period. So the shedding of a fraudulent system, which is connected to the corporation, that is controlled by the deep state shadow government. So the year of the fire horse begins on February 17th of 2026. So energetically and astrologically, the snake year closes out on February 16th, and the shift happens, right? Because I tell people all the time, when you're talking about the Phoenix event, when you're talking about the great solar flash, when you're talking about the pole shift, it takes place within you first. None of this shit can happen until you activate. Everybody always talking about, oh, we need to, you know, the pole shift, we need to get ready for it. You need to get ready for yourself. Because, you know, the Leviathan in itself is also a representation of Kundalini activation, where you activate the serpentine wisdom. Because the neutrinos is hitting the planet, these neutrinos is a whole bunch of colossal coronal mass ejections, because frozen sunlight is a personification of geometry. So when you're talking about these solar flares that's hitting the planet, this is nothing but geometry, frozen light that's hitting the planet, that is activating the chosen ones. Now, it says, what time is the annual solar eclipse on February 17th? You got the Ring of Fire the Ring of Fire eclipse is coming to an Antarctica on February 17th. Not a coincidence right now, because you got to understand that a solar eclipse in itself is also a representation of the activation of the black sun, because when you look at the sign of Ophiuchus, it's a man holding a serpent, and the serpent is activated by way of the Kundalini activation that is acclimated to the snake year, right? Because the black sun is the black dot, and the black dot is the embodiment of the activation of the pineal gland, where you activate the crown chakra. So everything as far as like the celestial bodies, it corresponds with who you are genetically and neurologically. When you activate the neural network that tether connects you to the magnetosphere, right? Which is basically the supreme energy of the conscious energy grid. Now, on March 3rd, you got the moon will turn blood for 82 minutes, and nearly 6 billion will have a chance to witness it. Now, you got to understand something. This is a reset moon. I keep telling you, everything that corresponds with the celestial bodies corresponds with your gematria body. Your gematria body is what encapsulates the spirit and the soul, right? And then once you step it out of that energy, that's when you activate the Ika body, the epikinetic body, and that's when you tap into the Zohar body, or the Sahu body that I talk about in my book. The link is in the chat. The Sahu body is a representation of reset. So when the moon turns to blood red for 82 minutes, when you look at that, the numerical codex of it, that's a 10, because we're also in the 10 year, which is actually a 1 year, which basically represents reset. So the blood moon on March 3rd is actually a reset energy. So that's why I said you got to reset during this time period, because we're going out of the snake year. We're going out of the snake year. So this is the time to recalibrate. This is the time to get everything in order as far as, you know, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because that's what the true Israel is basically personification of. It is mind, body, and spirit. Isis, Ra, El. That's what that's talking about. It's not talking about those fake people over in Israel. They signed the Balfour Declaration of 1918. That's not what it's talking about. Israel is within your genetic format. Mind, body, and spirit. That's what it's basically talking about. So you got to reset to reap the benefits of these neutrinos that's coming to the planet, because now you're going through a shifting process. Because the first 6,000 years was an intrinsic energy that was cultivated by the energy of the sun. And then you look at the precessional circle. The precessional circle of the equinox plays a big part of the reset of everything that's taking place when you're talking about the fire horse year and the snake year ending. The reason this is everything is taking place right now, you got the Epstein files is going out, because that's when the planet was being controlled by the Alpha Draconis star system. As you can see at the top, this is the Alpha Draconis star system. So this is where they created draconian law that's connected to the corporation, because the corporation is the embodiment of Canaanite culture, which controls human trafficking, drug trafficking, and organ harvesting. Because the Alpha Draconis star system was in alignment with the energy of the moon, because the moon is a artificial celestial megastructure, and it's a quantum satellite to basically create the light code lockdown. Because when you go to Job chapter 38 verse 31, it says it basically talks about the lunar light lock energy. That is the Pleiadian light lock, but it unlocks when you go to the star Polaris, that's in alignment with the Aquarian age, that is controlled by the sun cycle. So that's why I was telling people, you cannot have a democracy in a sun cycle. It's impossible. A democracy can only be controlled by the Alpha Draconis. This is where you talking about all Draconians rule, the Matrix and Saturn and all this other stuff. That's where that whole philosophy came from. It's actually talking about the celestial bodies. I'm not saying that reptilians are not real, because they're very much real. Because when you get into Gnosticism, it talks about the archonic forces, but that's a whole different transmission. I already broke that down, you know, maybe about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. But you got to understand how the celestial bodies play a part of the geopolitical apparatus, and it also corresponds with who you are genetically. So now you got the North Star, which is the star Polaris, in alignment with the Aquarian age. So this is the Christ energy coming in. So it's not a coincidence that you got Uranus in conjunction with Gemini all the way up into the year 2033. Now you notice, you see the number 33, because that represents the Christ energy working through you when you're talking about Quetzalcoatl, Thoth, because your thoughts leave an energetic imprint on the universe, right? They has the ability to reset everything. Human consciousness has the ability to manipulate physical matter. So you got to be in alignment, mind, body, and spirit. You can't be out here bullshitting, because if you out here bullshitting, that's when a lot of stuff is going to be, you're going to be subjected to the great purification period. Because all this stuff that's taking place civically, all this stuff that's taking place politically, spiritually, mentally, it also corresponds with the movies. Because they just came out with a movie called Whistle, and we're going to get into that, because the movie Whistle was the embodiment of the great purification period. Because you got to, when you blow that damn whistle, that's when the great purification begins. Everything is going to start beginning. This is the beginning points of everything. This is the beginning of the shift, because you're seeing the shedding of a fraudulent system that is connected to the corporation. Now, all right, you just had a coronal hole that was about 4,000 miles wide, and it created the sigil of the Lamb, right? And then when you get into the Kemetic instruments, when you're talking about the crook and the flail, because the crook is also a representation of the shepherd that leads the chosen ones. And the flail is the representation of the embodiment of judgment. And judgment that's going to be taking place, because there's a reason why Dr. Malachi Z. York, on his last picture, it shows him holding the crook and the flail. Because that energy in itself represents reset. It represents judgment. It represents the activation of the chosen ones that is extracted from these coronal mass ejections that's hitting the planet. I keep telling you guys, neutrinos are Holy Ghost particles. So that means that you got to open yourself up to receive these energies. Because like I said, if you a motherfucking hater, if you out here causing chaos, mischief, if you out here causing confusion, you basically have an encryption over your physiology to the point where you're not able to harmonize with these energies that's coming to the planet. You're going to be spiritually blocked off, because it's only cultivated by way of a certain mindset. A lot of people got melanin, but you have a sixth ether mind. You have a ghost spirit, because you're connected to the God spell, the ghost spirit that's acclimated to the religion, which is a form of Christianity, the Talmud, and all this other stuff that is controlled by the Freemasonic order, and the Pope being the visor of all religions, because they basically control that whole apparatus when you have the veneration of Baal. So your mindset can keep you stuck here. Your mindset can keep you to the point where you reap the negative benefits of the Great Purification period. So that means that when you're going through the Great Purification period, which is the year of the fire horse of Revelation, right? Because when you're talking about Revelations, when you're talking about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, they're not talking about actually horsemen. They're talking about the 4 basic elements, earth, air, water, fire, that collaborates with the neutrinos, which is the dodecahedron, which is also a representation of the quintessence of the universe. That's what that's talking about. It's talking about the activation of ether, which is why you see the coronal hole of the Lamb. The sign of the Lamb is the sign of the chosen ones. That's why Dr. Malachi Z. York, he came out with the book of the Lamb, right?
Step on this. Don't
the
step
book of the
on
Lamb.
this.
He
I
is
just
talking
told
about
you,
the chosen ones
don't
getting
do it.
activated during this time period.
Come on.
That is the
You know what it
activation of sun heat genes, granulations and prominences, right? Because I keep telling you guys, The carbon body in itself is photovoltaic. It has the ability to convert light into gamma radiation. Gamma radiation, that's electron energy. You got to understand that. So it also shows you the extraction process that shows you the sigil over planet Earth, right? Not a coincidence. Like I said, everything that corresponds in the cosmos corresponds with the celestial bodies and stuff, and it corresponds with your human body as well. It activates all the cells within your genetic format. Now, as I was telling you guys, the comedic instruments are the crook and the flail. The flail, what you see right here with the beads, these are comedic instruments. This represents judgment. So it's also not a coincidence during the time of the 2023 solar eclipse, 2017 solar eclipse, 2024 solar eclipse, it put an X over America, which is also the personification of Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega in itself represents the shepherd. So this is why you look at the crook right here, it looks just like it, the coronal hole that was extracted, because the crook is the shepherd that leads the chosen ones, the sign of the lamb. And then you got the flail, which is a representation of judgment. So there's a reason why, like I said, one of his last pictures, it shows Dr. York holding the crook and the flail. Not a coincidence, because we're in that time period. We're going through the reset. We're going through the recalibration process in real time. This is why you got the Epstein files and everything coming out. This is why all this stuff talking about extraterrestrials and all this stuff, they're telling you in your face in real time, because the planet has to go through a state of judgment, because it's all based on the precessional circle of the equinox. Because only intrinsic, authentic energy can only be activated during this time period when you're talking about the star Polaris, right? You can't bring synthetic ass energy into the golden age, right? That means that you have to start from an organic energy. Organic law, which is military law, which is constitutional law, that is cultivated by common law. You can't have a democracy, you can't have a corporation during the time of the sun cycle. So this is why they starting to shift a bunch of shit within all this stuff in the politics. Now, it shows you right here when you get to the Hebrew alphabet, right? It shows you the sign of the lamb, and then you got the ancient Hebrew Alph symbol, which is also a representation of the leader that put an X over the planet. So the ancient Alph symbol is also the embodiment of the Antichrist sigil, or anarchy sigil. But because these energies that's coming to the planet is going to have the ability to activate civil unrest, right? Civil unrest so much to the point where you're going to have civil war, you're going to have a conflict of interest when you're talking about politics. You're going to see a lot of people stepping away from religion, stepping away from politics. You're going to start beefing with family members. I even talk about this in my book, because during that time of the Great Separation period that's going to be cultivated by the year 2027, because the year 2027, when you look at the number, it shows you the number 11. That's separation. Separation in itself, meaning that you're going to have the chosen ones stepping in the path of the middle way, and then you got the people that's acclimated to the timeline of the fraudulent system. They're going to conform to the ideologies of those that's subjugating humanity. That's what that's basically talking about. So now, when we get into a little esoteric biblical context, the Alpha and Omega, as I was telling you guys, Revelations 22:13, because the beginning points of Genesis is actually talking about formation, but Revelations is actually talking about reformation. So that means that the planet has to go through a recalibration process. I am Alpha and I am Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last, which is the number 19, AI. This is why they want to cultivate AI to subjugate the human consciousness on the planet, because it contains all these nanotechnologies, right? And through Adam, many will fall. Because when you're talking about atom, you're talking about atoms, and the first atom is activated by way of a neutron, which is basically the nucleus or the monad, which is personification of God. Psalms 82 verse 6, ye are gods. So the atom in itself is actually talking about you. It's not talking about a goddamn person. So when you go to Romans chapter 5:19, for as by one man's, when you're talking about the original man, the Adamic man, the Semitic people or the Shemitic people, right? Disobedience, neglect of duty, refuse to obey, the violation of command that's extracted from the cosmos. Because during this time period, you got to pay attention to what the hell is going on. You can't just be out here, you know what I'm saying, have a chronic imbalance and you so in your emotions to the point where you know I'm gonna follow Democrat, I'm gonna follow Republic. It's not about that. They showing you in real time what time it is. These coronal holes that's coming to the planet, these extractions of energy that's coming from the sun, these are all sigils, right? It's kind of like the same thing when you watch Batman. When Batman, when he already knew what time it was when he seen that motherfucking the bat symbol in the sky. He knew it was time to get down to business. So that's what the sun is doing. It's showing you what the hell is going on. It's telling you, hey, you need to get in alignment because this is the sign of the Lamb. This is the sign of the chosen ones. That's why I wrote the book, the sacred book of the chosen, because the chosen ones, you're going to get castigated. You're going to become that Christ that they talk about in the Bible. Motherfuckers are going to start to hate you for no reason because you're stepping away from religion. You're stepping away from politics, right?
Right.
Because a lot of Christians don't even know when you get into the Roman occupational government in the Bible, the Roman government is actually the people that killed Jesus, right? Because he was speaking against their system. And I told you, Gemini in conjunction with Uranus, that represents the activation of the throat chakra, because I told you 85 seconds to midnight is actually talking about the throat chakra harmonizing with your higher self, which is the Zohar body, which is the Christ consciousness. That everything is symbolism. You got to understand that. So it says the sinners, so by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. So like I said, the lawbreakers out of balance with God's law. So like I said, the crook and the flood represents judgment and balance. So you got to be balanced neurologically. You got to be balanced mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You can't have a chronic imbalance because you can't have, when you're talking about a reset is the scales of justice that represents 0 point energy. 0 point energy fields that activates the ethers. But you got to receive the information. Everybody talking about they getting motherfucking downloads, but are you getting a download if you a hater? Are you getting downloads if you picking sides that's connected to the illusion? You're not getting no downloads. The only way to get the download if you following the path of the middle way to where you're not subjugated by dualistic energies. Because when you pick a side, you're basically conforming to the illusion. Now, as I was telling you guys before, the secret of the seven, when you get into ancient Hinduism, Krishna is the outer manifestation of Shiva, and Shiva means seven, and seven is acclimated to the seven energy cortexes, which is your chakra system, which is also a representation of the scroll of all. Your scroll of all has the ability to unlock those chambers. That's why when you go to Genesis chapter 32, verse 30, Jacob named the place pineal because he said, I saw God face to face. It's talking about the activation of the pineal gland. It's not actually talking about a goddamn place. Everything that they tell you in the Bible is happening in your brain. That's when I was talking about the trilateral connection of the triune brain, which is pituitary gland, hypothalamus gland, and the pineal gland that creates the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, which is basically the wings of the cherubim and the seraphim, that is representation of the neuron fibers getting activated when you're talking about the left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere of the brain. But now we're going back into right knowledge, which is the activation of the olfactory nerve. So the activation of the olfactory nerve in itself is a representation how you unlock the secret of the seven, right? The secret of the seven. So in biblical context, the number 7 is often associated with completion, perfection, and spiritual significance, which is the embodiment of God. God is the highest extension of the mind, which uses elements and matter to express itself. When you're able to express yourself, that's when you activate the tree of life, which is your vagus nervous system, to where you transmute that melanin and carbon, which is the chemical key to activate the scroll of all, those 7 chakra systems. That's what that's talking about. You cannot activate these keys until you don't have an encryption over your brain. Because I tell people all the time, you have the suprachiasmatic nucleus. The suprachiasmatic nucleus is basically the personification of your mind being boxed in. Everybody has an encryption over their mind, but you got to break out of that box. And that box in itself is connected to the hexahedron that sits on the cube of Saturn. So you got to break out of the box neurologically to the point where you're able to go through an ascension process. Because all this corresponds with the pentagrammaton. Because when you're talking about the pentagrammaton, it's basically the esoteric information that is acclimated to the tetragrammaton. When you're talking about Yahweh, YHWH, Yahweh is within you, right? But some people, you know what I'm saying, it's really a play on words, because some people, when you're talking about the Anunnaki and stuff like that, they say, well, Yahweh is Enlil, but there's also a dualistic meaning that is connected to that, because it's actually talking about the activation of the dualistic trine, the Hexa Alpha. The Hexa Alpha that has the ability to activate the will within you, right? The will within you when you're talking about the chariots of the gods. So that's where you get your ascension rights, because you had the activation of the serpent. So that's what all this is basically talking about. So you have mental transformation where you activate the serpentine wisdom, because when you have these coronal mass ejections that's coming to the planet, this is music extracted from the cosmos. You can't hear it. That little ring that you be hearing in your ear, that's music that's being extracted from the heavens. That's music that's being extracted from the magnetosphere. There's a reason why in X-Men they called him Magneto, because the God is the mind. Magneto is a representation of the magnetosphere, which is the mental plane. So you got to receive these energies to activate the serpent wisdom, right? Serpent wisdom is the mental transformation. The mental transformation where you activate Gamma Ars the Bar, which is wisdom, strength, and beauty within you, right? So that's why you showed you the spine, which also is an emulation of the Kundalini activation when you raise up the life force, the prana, where you go from lead to gold. So this is, like I said, Kundalini transformation, where you unlock the silver cord that is connected to the moon, right? So that's why I said you had the March 3rd, so the March 3rd blood moon eclipse. This is the time to reset, to disconnect yourself from the gematria body that is basically acclimated to the silver cord, which is a silver key. And the silver key is your emotional self that is cultivated by the gematria body that connects you to the simulation. So when you activate the body of light by way of Kundalini activation, the serpentine wisdom, that's when you become the golden key to unlock the galactic center, to where you're no longer subjugated by the confines of the matrix. When you're talking about people, places, and possessions, you basically break out of that box, you break out of that system. This is a time of deviation. This is a time of recalibration. Now, I told you guys about Christos, right? Krishna is the outer manifestation of Shiva, because the Christos is the Christ oil, and the Christ oil is what makes you Christ, that is activated by way of Christ consciousness, where you activate the fire within you, right? Because when you understand the word pyramid, pyramid just means fire in the middle, which is the soul. The soul can only be cultivated by way of the Zohar body, which is the Christos. So this is why I was talking about the gematria body. Your gematria body is what keeps you stuck here. That keeps you going through a perpetual state of reincarnation. But when you have the ability to remember, that's when you activate the epikinetic body that's connected to the hippocampus layer of the brain, which is the conscious memory bank. You got to remember who the fuck you are to activate the electromagnetic energy within your physiology. So the elements of the physical body and the spiritual bodies, and it all corresponds with the periodic table of elements. So when you're talking about the periodic table of elements, is all it's talking about is the activation of the spiritual body and the physical body becoming one. It's actually talking about oneness, because all the elements on the motherfucking periodic table is within your genetic format. They even talk about that in the Theosophical Society. They talk about in the secret doctrine that was created by Madame Blavatsky. Because spiritual and physical correspondence can only be cultivated by the energy of the principle of fire. When you're talking about pyrokinesis, right? Moving on. Let me see. So, like I said, you're looking at the shedding, because a lot of people don't understand when you're talking about the Hopi prophecy. You got the Blue Star Kachina and the Red Star Kachina. Red house, blue house. Scottish Rite, York Rite. But that's the negative aspects of it. So, when you're talking about the Great Purification period, it is actually talking about the Red Fire Horse. The Red Fire Horse is a representation of the Red Star Kachina. So that's what you see taking place right now. So this is the end of the snake year. The shedding of a fraudulent system that created the corporation, that created fake money, colonization, and all these other things that basically subjugated humanity. So, as I was telling you guys, 2026 is a 1 year, so that's a universal reset. So that's why when the body, when the planet's going through a reset of energy, that means that your physiology has to go through a reset of energy. So when you're talking about autophagy, that's when you're talking about the cellular activation, when you clean up your physiology. So when you fast for about 72 hours, that's when you have the cellular cleanup during the extended fasting. Your cells start recycling damaged proteins, dysfunctional mitochondrial DNA, because like during the time of the Great Purification period, if you're not in alignment, your motherfucking mitochondrial DNA is going to get cut off. You're not going to be able to be connected to the mycelium network of the energy that's coming to the planet. Because these coronal mass ejections, these coronal holes that's coming to the planet, it's not just activating you, it's activating Earth. That's why it's imperative during this, especially during the spring and the summer of 2026, when it starts to get hot outside, go outside and you know what I'm saying, and get those energies in the soil. Ground yourself, right? Ground yourself and be present. Because, you know, the planet is going through a recalibration process. So you don't want your mitochondria being cut off. So even the early stages of cancer cells of the body finally gets a chance to make out the accumulated trash. So like I said, to get rid of that inflammation and stuff, specifically today, mind you, I kid you not, today we had so much damn fog, because a lot of that fog is really radiation fog. And all that radiation fog in itself is nothing but smart dust particles, which is the MQ-9 Nano Reaper drone technology. These smart dust particles contain smart dust particles and ice crystals that basically locks down your DNA. So this is why a lot of people right now are starting to get sick. In my last transmission that I put out about 4 or 5 days ago, I basically demonstrated, I showed you a woman, you know, she was going through, you know, her physiology is being manipulated because there's a lot of stuff that they spray in the air. So a lot of stuff that they spraying in the air, it contains, you know, arsenic nanotechnology. So that's why it's imperative for you to go to a steam room and go to a sauna. Reset your body. March 3rd, blood moon, that's during the time of 2026. That is a representation of reset. You want to reset your body. You want to reset your mind.
No.
You want to reset everything. Shit. No. Shit. Start deleting contacts out your phone. Everything has to go through a recalibration process because you don't want too many weights on your ascension process. You want to be light as a feather. What they talk about in ancient Kemetic spirituality. You want to be light as a feather. Get all that raggedy ass energy off your physiology. Get away from people, you know what I'm saying, who is not following the supreme dietary systems, who is not trying to activate. I know a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, we all have our own vices or whatever. We eat certain things. Everybody's not perfect. But I keep telling people, this is the time to deviate from smoking weed and all this other stuff. It's okay to have a little, you know, glass of wine or champagne, but just getting slapped, drinking Hennessy and all this stuff all day, just because it's a Tuesday and you want to get drunk, this is not the time to do it. This is the time to take your body seriously, to where you want your nervous system to be recalibrated, because the planet is going through a recalibration process. Because that's the representation of the Great Purification period. It's going to purify everything that is basically unnatural to the planet. That's what that's basically talking about. So the same thing takes place with your physiology. Now, you got to check this movie out called Whistle. Put the rice bowls in the chat. Watch this movie Whistle, because when you look at the movie Whistle, when you look at the there's a sigil on there that's had Abapixin. Abapixin means to summon the dead, and to summon the dead, when you blow the whistle, that is also a representation of the beginning points of the Great Purification period. It has to purify the damaged souls on the planet. It has to purify those who were subjugated to a disengrunned energy, those who was operating from a low vibrational state. That's what that whistle was basically a representation of, because this came from Olmec and Aztecian culture. So you got to watch this movie right here. And also in the beginning of the movie, it shows you a pyrokinetic entity. And then the guy's last name, his name was Horus. Not a coincidence. So it shows you a pyrokinetic entity. Pyrokinesis and the stuff, all this stuff is basically talking about fire. So in the beginning of the movie, they're showing you that we're in the year of the fire horse, and it represents the Great Purification period, and it shows you in the form of symbolism. So you got to watch this movie right here. I keep telling you, the CIA has an office in Hollywood, and Hollywood has an office in the CIA. They're going to put the truth in the movies because it corresponds to the timeline. So it shows you the, so this is what it's basically talking about, the Aztec death whistle symbolism. So in real Mesoamerican tradition, the death whistle was believed to be the embodiment of the Great Purification period. It embodies, you know what I'm saying, everything that, you know, it's an extraction of energy, negative energy. So the Great Purification period, as you go through the shedding of the end of the snake year, is the embodiment of the great dreadful day and the great day of the Lord. The great day of the Lord, because the true Lord is actually Melchizedek, which is Thoth. Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. For behold,
Jupiter,
day coming that shall burn as an oven. The great purification, I keep telling y'all. Hold on, now. So the great dreadful day of the purification, the return of the waster, which is Lewis, which is Thoth, the destroyer of the Red Star Kachina pole shift. The pole shift takes place in your body before it actually takes place in the cosmos. You gotta understand that. Human consciousness has the ability to manipulate physical matter, because physical destruction is facilitated by spiritual energy that's transmuted from the sun, right? So the Red Star Kachina, the pole shift,
being so fucking fat. Eat your kibbles.
In the day that Thoth, you, your consciousness, Thoth is your thoughts, cometh, shall forth the cosmic fire, upset the Lord. And then you go to Malachi 4:2, it says, but unto you that fear my name shall of the Son of righteousness arise, healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, right? With the sign of the Lamb. So that's why I was saying, Thoth, Melchizedek, Yahweh, and then you got all that's talking about you. That is talking about the transmutational process of the resurrecting of energy, where you awaken, right? You awaken because when you awaken, that basically dematerializes the social order and the political order. But when you bring everything together, that basically causes the collapse. So this is why everything that they do is cultivated by way of fear, which is the embodiment of draconian law. That's what the social order and the political order basically represents. So according to Malachi verse 4, chapter 4 verse 1, it's talking about the great dreadful day, which is the great purification period, the year of the fire horse, where you had the extraction of energy and you had the activation of the Red Star Kachina and the pole shift. Because like I said, the pole shift takes place within you first. So this is why it's imperative to understand that 2027 is also the fall of the Catholic Church, because the Pope is the viscer of all religions. So the fall of the church is actually the resurrection of you, right? Because you the real church, you the real temple, if you're in alignment. So the warning of the fire in America, Ezekiel chapter 30, verse 8, it says, and they shall, when you're talking about the European Union, you're talking about the Canaanites who control America, right? Because you got to understand something. You got black Canaanites, you got the Black Caucus, when you're talking about the Colossians, because a lot of people don't understand bloodline. When you're talking about, when you understand bloodline, you will be able to see beyond black and white. But that's a whole different transmission. Because you got Black Caucus, right? And then you also got Black Romans when you're talking about the, I forgot, the Etruscans, right? The Etruscans, which is also connected to the Blackamoors who sold us out, that basically subjugated the indigenous Mers in America. That's a whole different transmission as well. So you got, shout that I am the Lord when I have a set of fire in Egypt, which is America,
pull out the
right?
malice.
And when all heard Americas, and you're talking about the fall of organized religion, the Roman Catholic Church, the fall of big corporations, finance, economic, social structure, miseducation, unjust political and laws and military complex, processed foods, pharmaceutical companies, all of it's going to be destroyed during the time of the Great Purification period. This is why you got Donald Trump, he's trying to deviate from the World Health Organization and all this other stuff, right? Now, like I said, Donald Trump is a chaos agent. There's a reason why he's playing both sides, right? He wants to give you the illusion of progressiveness because, like I said, you cannot have a democracy in the sun cycle. So everything that's connected to democracy all follows these 5 blueprints right here, right? And he's attacking all this. That's why he looks like, you know, the hero right now. But, you know what I'm saying, for those who have eyes, they will see beyond the bullshit. They're going to have that mental and spiritual fortitude. So Thoth will spoil and cut off Cain, DC, NYC. Jeremiah chapter 47, verse 4. Because of the day that cometh to spoil the Philistines, which is the Canaanites, the Phoenicians, and the Chaldeans, that is also connected to a reptilian bloodline. And 2, cut off the Tyus and Zidon. When you're talking about the merchants of the land that's connected to DC and the traders of NYC, when you're talking about the stock market and things of that nature. And then you got the head of organized religions, the right hand, the political system, the military left hand, social structure. The fee is a representation of the fiat currency, the debt, slavery, of the usury that controls the QSIP numbers when you're talking about community, uniform security, identification procedure. So the stomach is also a representation of the processed foods that's acclimated to the corporation. So every helper remaining for the Lord will
Stab the
spoil
nigga,
the
please.
the remnant of the country of Captor.
What are we doing? Oh
I got some
my
videos
God.
for you guys. I don't want to get too deep in the transmission. Yes. So we're gonna
bitch
get
ass
to
on.
some videos here. Put the rice bowls in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Oh shit!
Oh my gosh, bro. Fuck this, my nigga.
I froze up a little bit. Play this for you
There's
guys.
definitely, I think, a new world order. I think the president has sought to it. There's a new world order in trade. There's a new world order in globalization and the way that we invest in our economy versus, you know, foreign supply chains. There's a new world order, and that the president is willing to shake up some old alliance structures. I mean, NATO, I think, is much different because of the president's leadership than it was 10 years ago. It was sort of coasting. It was effectively a protectorate of the United States of America. Obviously, you saw what happened in Venezuela. So, yeah, the president is putting a stamp on world history, but fundamentally in an America First way.
The world is changing very fast right in front of us. The old world is gone, frankly. The world I grew up in, and we live in a new era in geopolitics, and it's going to require all of us to sort of re-examine what that looks like and what our role is going to be. And we've had many of these conversations in private with many of our allies. We are our allies. And we need to continue to have those conversations. And I think Saturday, hopefully, in the meetings we'll have there, we'll move to some end.
First and foremost, I think we need to revisit our commitments to international aid, not just USAID, but the dozens of global compacts that this current Secretary of State and President Trump have withdrawn from. They are looking to withdraw the United States from the entire world so that we can turn into an age of authoritarianisms.
See, I told you. See, remember I was telling you, he's giving you the illusion of progressiveness. He's trying to act like he's deviating from the New World Order system to create his own synthetic golden age, right? Because the New World Order that was extrapolated by George Bush Sr. when he was talking about when he was at the United Nations and during the time of the 80s, he was talking about a new world order. Remember that when he had that speech? He said talking about a new world order. That's connected to the Piscean age of darkness. Now we're transitioning. You can only have a republic during this time period. But he's a Republican, Donald Trump. But he's giving you the illusion of progressiveness. You got to understand that. He is a jester. He's a joker. He is a chaos agent. He is playing both sides.
Authoritarians that can carve out the world where Donald Trump can command the Western Hemisphere and Latin America as his personal sandbox, where Putin can saber rattle around Europe and try to bully around our own allies there, and for essentially authoritarians to have their own geographic domains. And it actually is the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It is our global alliances that can be a hard stop against authoritarian consolidation of power, particularly in the installation of regional puppet governments.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
You gotta understand something. When you watch this video, what are they preparing for? This is why I keep telling people like, oh, you fear-mongering. This is not fear-mongering. It is time to get serious about what the hell is going on. Because you got other militarized groups, you know, that's not even connected to, you know, the United States military. They're starting to unify. Because you got to watch that movie Red Dawn. They show you in real time that something's going to be taking place on American soil. Remember, you got Iran, you got Russia and China that is strategic allies with Venezuela. Something's going to happen on American soil. Remember, also, you got the 250th anniversary for America, the corporation, on July the 4th of 2026 of this year. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, they're going to bash the birthday party, right? So you got to be very, you know, meticulous about everything that's taking place right now. Pay attention to everything.
Tonight, we're going to focus on the well-regulated militia part of the Second Amendment. Happening right now in our backyard, civilians are being trained in military combat. Proponents say it's about being prepared. Others believe it's unnecessary, even potentially dangerous. Gulf Coast News reporter Evan Dean went north to find out what this new generation of doomsday preppers is really prepping for.
See, but when I talk to my people, are you fear-mongering? This is not fear-mongering. You got to be, like I said, if you scared, take your ass to Pastor Porkchop. He ain't going to put no resources in the church because the church is supposed to be a storehouse. He ain't put no resources, no food, no ammunition, no nothing. All he's doing is collecting, you know what I'm saying, the money when the goddamn plate go around. But when I come on these transmissions, y'all say that I'm talking about I'm fear-mongering. So that's why I say it's time to get prepared about what's going to be taking place, because it's quite obvious that they putting this on, you know, on the television networking system, something's going to happen eventually. But just be prepared for it. You know what I'm saying? Get your money up. Get your strength up. Get your mind right. That's why I wrote this book, The Sacred Book of the Chosen. This book is nothing but a guide of what is to come, and it also goes into mental health and things of that nature. It's preparing you mentally, physically, and spiritually about what the hell is going to be taking place in between the years of 2025 all the way up until the year of 2030, and then from the year of 2030 you got the 2043, which is the 13 years apart, but 2043 is also the personification of completion because 2043 is the 9.
In the quiet countryside of Polk County, there's a shooting range where target practice is anything but ordinary.
517 yards.
Going hot.
Rick Arby Matson is a retired 2-star general with the U.S. Air Force. Now, this is his hobby.
Shooter ready. Everybody else ready? Okay.
In recent years, Arby says gun culture in America has changed.
I think it's gotten a lot more serious. I think that the technology and the capability has just grown and exploded exponentially.
The range is part of Bone Valley Industries, a training facility for skilled shooters and outdoor enthusiasts. Arby is one of the owners here.
You know, it used to be back in the day where, you know, a 500-yard shot was pretty impressive to be able to do it. You know, this rifle can go out to 2 miles.
It's normal now for civilians to buy body armor and night vision and have access to this type of equipment.
Eric Rocher is an Air Force veteran and part owner as well. He also owns a separate company that trains on the same grounds. They are not your beginner courses. Eric's company, called Barrel and Hatchet, offers military-style training to civilians. That includes, yes, training with body armor and even night vision.
Not looking for a fight, but I believe...
That's what I'm saying. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, they be partying, want to be baddies, you know what I'm saying? No neurological discipline. You're not in the weight room. You're not even trying to challenge yourself. And they out here doing this, and you wonder why you're not prepared. And you wonder why you're not prepared for nothing. But it's my fault if I speak about this. It's fear-mongering.
The strongly trained and well-armed populace is the best prevention to war.
The training is part of what's become known as the Prepared Citizen Movement. And if Rocher's following is any indication, it's growing in popularity. His YouTube page has nearly 200,000 subscribers.
The prepared citizen essentially means, to me, is someone that is willing to take charge of not just defending their family, but also providing for them, whether that's spiritually, physically.
Rocher points to uncertainty when COVID first hit, to more recently the war in Ukraine as reasons why the movement has momentum.
There was videos coming out right before the Russians invaded of civilians trying to be quickly trained by the government and the military on how to defend themselves, how to put on tourniquets for medical aid, and that really opened my eyes.
I think it's eclectic, and I think that the term is purposefully vague.
FGCU philosophy professor Landon Frim studies everything from religion to politics. He's also researched the Prepared Citizen movement.
It's such a broad term. It's such an eclectic umbrella term that it can include a lot of explicitly politically motivated people. It could include political extremists who simply don't want to advertise the fact.
Frim has also reviewed Rocher's work, from his YouTube page to his podcast. While Frim admits he can't know the motivations of those in the movement, he questions the need for this type of civilian training.
I don't understand what scenario he's imagining. By his own admission, he is training people to shoot the length of 3 football fields. You don't need to shoot the length of 3 football fields to defend your front porch. I'm sorry.
When asked what motivates him, Rocher says it's not politics, not even the equipment or the training. He says it's the community that's formed in the movement.
Elijah in the Bible was one of 2 people that never died.
He adds a Bible message at the end of his videos and says the real motivation is seeing lives changed.
When you see other people commenting on a prayer request, someone saying, I just need a prayer on something, like I'm going through a hard time. And to see people come together like that, it's
Oh, my bad.
That this is neither our goal and clear to all. That this is neither our goal nor our wish.
Clashing viewpoints on foreign policy from AOC and Secretary of State Marco Rubio as the Munich Security Conference continues. In his speech today, Rubio says the U.S. will not abandon ties with Europe. This as AOC slams the Trump administration as looking to withdraw the U.S. from the entire world. For more, let's bring in former National Security Council Senior Director under George W. Bush, Michael Allen. Michael, great to have you.
Thank you.
Back on the program. We've got 2 competing messages happening abroad. AOC is sort of undermining the current administration's foreign policy, while the Secretary of State is saying, trust us. Who is going to win out? Who are they going to listen to?
I think Secretary Rubio was very skillful in his address today. I think he made clear that the United States has to look after its sovereignty, has to look at for itself, but he also appealed to the Europeans on the basis of a common culture and civilization. He said, we've bled together and we're going to be blunt with you. You need to get stronger, more innovative, more standing on your own because we have things to do together. So when AOC says that the Trump administration has abandoned Europe, our longtime partnership, I don't think she has a leg to stand on.
And I think unity with our allies is important right now as we try to deal with Iran, right? So the president just sent this second aircraft carrier to the Middle East. He says, in case we don't make a deal, in case we need it. Is this going to move the needle on Iran? Is Iran taking us seriously?
So I think it helps a little bit, and President Trump is smart to have military force held out here to strengthen his hand diplomatically. But fundamentally, I don't think it's going to make a difference in the final equation because the Iranians don't want to compromise on what we're asking them to compromise on. They're not going to forswear enrichment. They're not going to reduce their ballistic missile program, and they're not going to stop funding and equipping terrorist forces around the region. So I think this is just a bridge too far for these 2 parties. Iran, I think it's not in the character of their revolutionary regime to compromise as much as we want them to. So I think ultimately.
And then I got this other video, and then at the end of the transmission, I'm gonna do some Q&A also. But this is another video that Rod, my OG Rod Hayes, he sent this to me earlier.
Nuclear missiles aimed towards the mainland United States. 4 of the 12 missiles launched have been intercepted. The 8 remaining nuclear missiles will strike the following locations in the next 15 to 20 minutes: Los Angeles, San Diego, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, New York City, Philadelphia, and Seattle. Within a 300-mile radius of these areas, everyone should seek out a fallout shelter as soon as possible. Nuclear fallout is a byproduct of nuclear attacks.
What in the fuck is going on, dog?
Will almost certainly kill you.
Look, I did this time, I'm freaking out now, because it was, I looked it up on YouTube, I looked this up on YouTube because this girl was fucking playing with her husband, and I didn't do it. Like, I looked the video up and everything, and I didn't do it. It's not real.
It's not real?
It's not real.
Wait until the all clear has been given before leaving the fallout shelter.
Is this on YouTube?
No, I stopped it. I did not do it. I started to do it.
So like I said, it's one of those things where all this stuff is not, you know, it could be a fake, it could be a coincidence, because even if it's fake, you know, there's something in the ethers to where it can make a person want to do something, because your thoughts in itself is connected to the algorithm. And then the synthetic conscious energy grid system in itself can put thoughts in your head to give you the propensity to do something. So I'm gonna show you another video. We're gonna wait till we get there. We're gonna get back to the transmission. So let me get that off of here. Put those rice bowls in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we back. So you looking at everything as far as like the whole social order, the left and the right hand being, you know, manipulated. So this is all connected to, you know, the 10 days of darkness, which can happen in the year 2026, because, you know, depending on how you look at it, 2026 is a 10-year. So step one, crash everything, blackouts, banks frozen, phones dead. They're already blaming Iran for cyber attacks, because remember, Iran is also allies with Russia and China. And they said that Russia and China and Iran, according to the World Economic Forum, they said that they have the ability to destabilize the electrical grid system to where they, you know, create a cyber attack. And then you have, while you panic in the dark, they roll out the shocking discoveries, ancient tablets under Antarctica ruins that they say religions was alive. It is not real finds, it's planted junk to make you doubt everything you believe. And that's also, they also talk about this in the Holy Quran. They talk about the smorgasbord event, because during the time when you have a blackout, that's when you have these draconian reptilian entities, or the Djinn, or the Dajjal. They start to come from the surface of the planet, just like in the movie Cabin in the Woods. So that's also, it could correspond with, you know, Project Bluebeam and all this other stuff. So it's kind of something to think about. So geopolitical tensions, it all corresponds. And then you got Obama, there's a video, I wasn't able to upload it, but it basically, he confirms that aliens are real, but he says that he haven't seen them. So you got China is dumping all their United States assets to buy more gold. Brazil and China are doing the same thing. The stock market is about to collapse. Also, Donald Trump said that the ULO and much more. So that's why I said get your money up. You want to get some intrinsic golds and metals and silvers or whatever, to where it could be a placeholder in the next, you know, timeline, on the next financial timeline. Now, this is basically America's credit score has been getting lower ever since, you know, from the last 10 years, from 2015 to 2025. It's got worse. It's dropped 11 points. So United States hits worst score ever recorded, right? Because like I said, it's giving you the illusion of progressiveness. This country is not progressing at all whatsoever. So now you got Iran put up a giant banner of Baphomet controlling Trump, Netanyahu, Salman, and Epstein, right? So Baphomet, I wouldn't say it's Baphomet, because this is kind of misinformation, but they actually talking about Baal. So Baal is actually the personification of Moloch. And Moloch in itself is what controls, you know, the archonic forces, because Yaldabaoth is also the same entity when you get into Gnosticism. So you got the five, you got God's five divine laws, right? So you got the head, which is representation of the moral. The feet represents economics. The left hand represents the social order. The right hand represents the political apparatus. And then it goes in talking about the fish of the sea. The fish of the sea is actually talking about the connected to the European Union that is also associated with the reptiles when you're talking about the Draconians. When you go to Zeb chapter 1, verse 3, and then the appendix 2, Enoch, chapter 48D, chapter 48D, verse 8. And then you got the fowls, the fallen angels, right? And then you got the lower fourth dimension. That the lower fourth dimension merged in with the third dimension. That is the embodiment of the demiurge. That's what it's talking about. Fallen angels, Draconians that control the whole European Union, that is controlled by the Canaanite. That's giving you the illusion of progressiveness, that is controlled by the left hand, economics, and the right hand, the political side. Right? That's what that's basically talking about. So you got black hand. The black hand is the hidden hand, and the hidden hand is the black nobility, and the black nobility controls the cabal, which is the political and military order. Then you got the hidden hand, the Vatican. This is all connected to the 3 city-states. So the hidden hand, the Vatican, which controls organized religion, because the Pope is the visor of all religions, because the church and the state is not separate. You got to remember that. This is why you got so many so-called leaders like black politicians, black pastors. They don't speak about none of this stuff that I'm talking about. They can't talk like this. Why? Because they have 501c3 contracts. They have 501c3 contracts, so that means that they traded in their tongue for a tax exemption. So that's why you don't never see them barking against the same system that they getting funded by. You can't free the slaves if you're getting paid by the plantation, right? So they can't talk like this. And then you got the black hand, which is also connected to the cabal, because the cabal is controlled by the Canaanites, and the Canaanites worship the god of Moloch. So this is when you're talking about the Rothschilds and the monarchy system that controls the economics and finance. That's what that's all talking about. So that's the 3 city-states, which is the United Kingdom, the Vatican, and the United States government, because the United States is a corporation. When you go to Uniform Commercial Code, Title 18, Section 3002, it says that the United States is not a country, it's a corporation. The corporation in itself that creates a issuance of a reserve bank's nature of obligation and redemption. So that basically is telling you that paper money in itself is nothing but a promissory note. That's why, eventually the banks is going to collapse. That's why I said, get you some motherfucking gold. The Federal Reserve notes is nothing but debt. So you're making loans to a fraudulent system. That's why I said, you can't have a democracy. You can't have a synthetic corporation, a fraudulent system during the time of the Golden Age that is connected to the star Polaris, that is cultivated by the Aquarian. You can't do that, right? You can't have synthetic energy in the sun cycle. It's not going to work. They cannot coexist. You can't have fake money. You got to use God's money. God's money, gold and silver. You use the intrinsic metals that's connected to nature. Everything in nature has to be acclimated to the sun cycle. That's why, according to the precessional circle of the equinox, this is the last reincarnation cycle. We're in the last time. This is why we're going through so much right now. This is why they're coming out with the Epstein files and all these conspiracies are basically made to be true. Not a coincidence right now. You can't have corrupted government during the time of the sun cycle, because it's going to expose everything. So, shall be redeemed in lawful gold and silver, money on demand at the Treasury Department of the United States. And then you got the Uniform Commercial Code according to the Cornell Law School, and it basically demonstrates, how you're ordered to pay. You're basically paying for everything twice, because all this stuff they taking all the money out of your trust. So you're paying for everything twice. So because, like I said, when you sign over your signature, which is an endorsement, when you sign over your signature, you're signing over your nature. That's a blood contract. That is Babylonian blood magic. Babylonian blood magic that is cultivated by Babylonian money magic that is controlled by the Uniform Commercial Codes, that is also connected to Wall Street and corporations. So that's why I said it's imperative to understand what the fuck is going on. So when you sign over your nature, you're giving them jurisdiction over you, right? That's why, when you sign contracts or whatever, you got to start crossing out stuff, start crossing out United States citizen and put creator, because that means that you have an autonomous energy to where you have a pedigree, because that puts you under the act of parliament. And then you got Adam to bring back peace. So you go to the book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch. It says all these areas around the world, technologies of light, neutrinos, from the galactic command in the Orion. Because it tells you in the damn Bible, when you get into biblical context, it says that heaven is in the Orion. That's a star constellation. Orion, with the instructions to help the Adamic race, the indigenous people, bring peace to the earth, which is America, right? Turtle Island. That's why, you know, Donald Trump wants Greenland, because Turtle Island in itself, that's the head of, Greenland is the head of Turtle Island. When you get into Oriental Freemasonry, it says in America, rediscovered the 15th century and repopulated in the 17th, was covered Egypt and the Promised Land and the land of the constellation of the Eagle, because America is what? The land of Tahuti, right? Quetzalcoatl, when you get into Mesoamerican, you know, cosmology and all this other stuff. And then it tells you right here on this page, America, Atlantis. This is a Oriental Freemasonic book. That's why I said, what's that phrase? They said, if you want to hide something from an N-word, put it in the book. That shit is so real, because a lot of people are not stepping into these esoteric information. A lot of people don't even understand that, you know, America is actually Atlantis. And Atlantis in itself is actually, you know, Turtle Island. It's basically the same thing. It's just different mythologies and different schools of thought. So America, Atlantis, as the curtain which has concealed the prehistoric connection, the peoples of the ancient Egypt and of America is lifted, it will be seen that the people of the Eagle, on the now being descended from the original people of the Eagle on this continent, the twain are one, and that the prehistoric America was the original Egypt. The prehistoric America was the original Egypt. That's why I keep telling people, the Egypt that you see over in Africa, that was like Hollywood to us, right? This is the America is the real shit. This is the real land of milk and honey. So the prehistoric America was the original Egypt, or Eagle land, the land of Tahuti. So like I said, there's a reason why they even tell you in biblical context that the Christ is going to rise from the west. So America, Atlantis, already stretched in an unbroken line of land from Nova Scotia to the far west, right? So that's why when you're talking about these biblical cities in the Bible, they're actually talking about America. Phoenicia, which is the, you know, connected to the Canaanite. Phoenicia, the ancient region along the east coast in the Mediterranean that corresponds with modern Lebanon. So when you're talking about Tyre, you're talking about Washington. When you're talking about Sidon, you're actually talking about New York. When you're talking about Bablos, so you're talking about this area in Boston, Massachusetts. Because all the stuff that they name in the Bible, those cities was named in the Americas first, right? This is what this is talking about, right? That's how you got to understand the esoterics of biblical context. You got to break all that shit down. So it tells you right here, it says that the Mediterranean that corresponds with the modern Lebanon with adjoining parts of modern Syria and Israel is located along major trade routes. Led its inhabitants called Phoenicians became notable merchants, traders, colonizers in the first millennium BCE. Chief cities of Phoenician, excluding colonies like Boston, New York, and DC. Can't make this up. And all three of those cities is in alignment with the Big Dipper star constellation. So now we're going to get into the Epstein shit, you know, because they put out some more information on about the Epstein files on Valentine's Day while everybody was distracted. So I'm going to play another video for you guys. And then after we get done with the transmission, we're going to get into some Q&A.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be there was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids.
You would be shocked, Pierce, at some of the names that I have seen that came across the DOJ in emails that the DOJ is protecting. And we're talking about people on both sides of the aisle. We're talking about famous people, rich people, people in power, prime ministers, former presidents, etc., media personalities that are named in these files. And that's why I say this is going to go down as the greatest cover-up, one of the greatest cover-ups in American history. And I don't believe the girls are actually going to see justice, which is why it's going to be incumbent upon people like Democrat Ro Khanna, Republican Thomas Massie. I'm a Republican myself who's willing to name some of those names in our committee work, on the floor of the House, whatever it takes, because this kind of thing cannot continue to go on. I want to give the next girl hope that when she comes forward, she won't be shamed. Her life won't be smeared in the Daily Mail or whatever the next press, is going to do. What they do to female victims and to children is disgusting, because they're protecting their rich and powerful friends. But you'd be surprised, shocked even at some of the names in the file.
I spent a fair amount of my time this morning looking at the files on Zorro Ranch. There's some dark stuff there.
Eddie Aragon says it was early in the morning in November 2019 when he got this email from someone claiming they were a former staffer at Zorro Ranch. Writing, "Did you know somewhere in the hills outside of the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madam G. Both died by strangulation during rough fetish."
State lawmakers are trying to create a truth commission to get some answers about one of our state's biggest mysteries.
What exactly happened at the late Jeffrey Epstein's notorious Zorro Ranch outside Santa Fe?
Former child star Elijah Wood says Hollywood has a seedy underbelly of child abuse and that those responsible are being protected by the entertainment industry elite.
See, this is why it's imperative to understand what's going on. We've been getting, not me because I don't follow their blueprint. This whole time, motherfuckers been following people who subject themselves to, deviant behavior. You mean to tell me people been following these people these so-called leaders, and just because they in a suit and tie doesn't mean that they, they're not operating from a degraded state. These people, like I said, these people are devils. You know what I'm saying? These people that's connected to the political apparatus that control religion and all this other stuff, a lot of people been taking orders from these people. That's why I said I can't take none of this serious. They telling you to pay your taxes, but meanwhile they on a damn island somewhere, touching a little baby's cakes. You know what I'm saying? Can't make this up. That's why I said stop listening to these political leaders. Stop listening to these world leaders. Stop listening to these politicians. Stop listening to these pastors. They're operating from a place of negative energy.
Wood, who's been acting since he was 8, told the Sunday Times there are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. Declining to give specifics, Feldman said a Hollywood executive is directly responsible for the drug and alcohol problems that contributed to the death of his friend and fellow child star Corey Haim. Wood said he was lucky to have a mom who protected him from abuse, but added, "I've been led down dark paths to realize that these things probably are still happening."
Hey everyone. Well, I just got back to the Capitol after spending the morning at the Department of Justice reading the Epstein files, and it's a lot to process. There's a lot of truly dark, disgusting, and disturbing material in those files. And to understand the depths of depravity, I just can't even, there aren't words to describe what are in those files.
Millions of pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, providing more information on the convicted defenders' crimes. Among the files, claims bodies are buried near Epstein's Zorro Ranch in Santa Fe County. Tonight, the state land commissioner demanding an investigation.
I'm going to keep asking questions and keep poking around until I get an answer.
And it's so dark. It's so dark.
And this is why nothing has happened, because it's being done at the highest level of government. Stop listening to all these, judges, lawyers, and all this stuff. They in bed with them folks too, because that's who they take orders from. You know what I'm saying? They are the ones who created the policies that's acclimated to the Bar Association. When you got to go to law school and all this other stuff. They're the ones who created that doctrine and curriculum, the people who was on them damn Epstein files. That's why I said you gotta deviate from westernized culture. Westernized culture is Canaanite culture. And Canaanite culture is based on alternative lifestyles, deviancy, inverted energy. So that's why I said you gotta deviate from everything that these people, you know, they're basically extrapolating within, you know, Western civilization. All this stuff is nothing but Canaanite culture. So that's why I said you gotta stop listening to these people. They're gonna give you misinformation every time.
A few things I want to say is that it's very clear the Department of Justice